No, dude, because you can believe your own existence and
You
you
don't
can
think
put
there's like
yourself
a
into that.
spiritual warfare over this kind of shit?
I'm not saying there isn't, but that's the thing is you as a sixth, fifth, seventh, whatever dimensional being, none of this shit matters, man. This is our own cage that we're built into with perception and, you know, the construct of being human to exist within the world of difference or dichotomy. Like,
Yeah, bro. So,
what?
I didn't know if you had anything to.
I don't really have anything in particular that's been, I guess, gnawing at me, other than just the typical stuff. Like I do quite often think about the whole pyramid thing and the energy with Tesla, like all that kind of stuff. I guess that's just something that
It's still kind of a hot topic out there. There's so many years. It's crazy.
I just even the idea of it alone, I always keep coming back to on is what would you need all that power for? And then the fact that all the rest of them like line up and all that kind of stuff, the ley lines, everything else, the fact that the single pyramid, if you were to take all the lines off of it, it would wrap the most amount of soil on the globe from any other location. Like that's the prime location for proper spread.
That's what I've always thought. Like, so if this is a power generator, right? If we're going with that theory, and this is wireless power, is it not?
Well, yeah.
Like, as long as you have some kind of a receiver on one end, you can harness and use that electricity for free.
I mean,
That's the idea behind it, right?
well, that's one of the ideas. I mean, because really what it comes down to is there's a few different believers of this was a power plant, and some would be that it generated energy that actually powered objects, and others would be is it just resonated energy to just be in like harmony in a sense. I don't know. I always like the quartz idea, how much information you can store in crystal. You know what I mean? Like if you have a endless storage device with endless power, you have endless possibilities.
What's the storage device you're talking about?
The crystal, like data, to put it like as like a USB drive.
Right, so what are the columns underneath the freaking pyramid, bro? What is that? Is that like a ginormous battery?
I mean, I feel like they would be conductive tubes of some sort, be a part of the machine in a sense.
Like tubes?
Well, right, because the pyramid, if oh god, I always forget his name. The one guy who has done the most research to validate the claim that the pyramid is a energy producer, like it creates energy. Now, that could be as like a coal plant or a nuclear plant, like what we're considering power. We plug something in and it turns on, like that kind of power. But it could just be an energy source. So it doesn't mean that it powers things. It could just power in general. It could just amplify or balance or, you know what I mean? Like it could, that energy could be for all sorts of stuff. So it's not so much that it made power like a battery source in a sense, but it did generate energy, but it
Oh, so you don't
needed.
think it did? You think it was just like more of a force field?
Well, I'm just saying that, well, that's why I keep asking the question, like, what would you need all that power for? So I can sit and speculate like others do
I
on
would I would assume lighting would be a pretty important one.
lighting.
Yeah, if I had access to energy, electricity, you would need it for light first before anything. I mean, it's the blender wouldn't be the first thing. It would be light. Like I need to be able to see my way around at night. But and that's what I'm saying. Like, where's all the evidence aside from like what one or two inscriptions on a wall where they show that giant light bulb looking thingy.
Yeah, the snake in a tube with no wires.
Whatever it was. It looks to me like a giant light bulb, but
Yeah.
no expert here.
Well, that's what, like a snake in a tube. Like it was a weird kind of coil.
Yes. Was it actually a snake? I don't know. Was it?
But again, what would all that power really be for? Because here's the thing: is if you're intelligent enough to not only build this thing for that purpose, I think you'd be doing bigger shit than light bulbs, bro. Know what I mean? Like, here's my bigger question though: with the recent discoveries, we'll call them, of the columns, like you were just talking about, the fact that they go like 2 kilometers deep, more or less, is what they're believing. If we were talking about how difficult it is to build the pyramid as is, as a standing structure all by itself, well, now amplify what building that thing would be like on top of these columns.
Having to go 2+ kilometers down to insert these columns into directly into the bedrock.
If that's what these things are, if they're sculpted out of, built on top of something or other.
And we're meant to believe this happened in a short period of time with no machinery like we think of today.
I'm just saying, add the columns in, dude. This is a whole nother animal as far as it goes into construction of this thing. The story that this was built by slaves is, at this point, like, I think we're good.
How is it done?
Yeah, like I think we can drop that one. That's not, the Egyptians did not build this shit.
No, absolutely not. Not as far as we can tell, anyway. It seems like mostly they were just kind of like putting their own name on the wall in a much
Coming in like
more
graffiti,
crude, yeah,
basically.
and just saying, hey, the pharaoh, whatever was here, and then that becomes mine. That's mine now. I
Yeah,
made
right. Dibs,
I made that.
pretty much.
I made it. That's what I did.
But yeah, dude, no, I think about a lot of that kind of stuff and what that mass amount of energy could be for. Um, and thinking of like the story of the Anunnaki and stuff like that. If we have this alternate race, they could be hominid, they could even be of this earth, and they were here millennia before us, hundreds of thousands, of like just a whole nother race of us that we evolved into these hominids or whatever. Like, it's just, they could be terrestrial per se and before us. So we want to call them aliens, but maybe they're not. But the simple fact is anything of this kind of nature could be true. So I think of, if that's potential, because it was the movie Stargate where the freaking big ship that's just like another pyramid sits on top of the other pyramid like a docking station, right?
Right.
What if that's kind of a thing where you literally,
This is a charging port for a bigger,
for like a huge massive ship or something? What if it really was?
that would actually lend a lot more character to the question that you have.
Well, and
Like, what did they do with all the energy? Why would you need that much?
and that's why I kind of go back to, I use the Anunnaki story as a reference, because it doesn't have to be that per se, but I think if anything, it shows evidence of a highly intelligent, evolved race of beings, extraterrestrial, terrestrial, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter their origin. Simple fact is we're talking about entities that are very well advanced in pretty much every aspect. But yeah, so it's like, I don't think of the Anunnaki as, like actual. I'm just using it as reference, because to have an advanced being of some sort to be just and again, extraterrestrial, terrestrial, like none of that stuff actually matters. There's something that has this mass intelligence, which would most likely have greater technology of sorts. And going again, you could just use a crystal as all this information storage. That could be everything you need. That could have everything tapped into it. Like, dude, that thing could be its own little AI chip or some shit. You know what I mean? Like well advanced technology kind of stuff. If the pyramid is that kind of a power plant that it makes this much freaking energy, then yeah, what would you need all that power for? I think it just lends its hand to the story of something like, the Anunnaki story, where there is this alternate race, whether they came from this planet or another or dimension or whatever. Dude, it doesn't matter. Like, none of that matters because obviously this thing did something. This was massively constructed to a degree that nobody even thought of. Another freaking 2 kilometers down into bedrock. And with the understanding of what Africa used to look like, dude, that area would have been. That's why I said all that sand. All that sand is from the like the Younger Dryas, the last melting and all that shit. When we had all that, it just carries. That's basically like ocean sand that got brought up
That
on
used to be
shore.
all fertile land.
Yeah, and now it's covered in freaking 2 kilometer
But
of sand.
when they built that structure, that was fertile land that was built up.
Yeah, because this thing was like the DC monument. It's just this. Because that's the thing. It's no longer a pyramid, bro. It's now a freaking monolith where you have this 2 kilometer shaft with this almost 500 foot tall fucking tip. That's a huge fucking structure.
Yeah, knowing that changes everything.
And to know that it would have been freestanding.
Because knowing already what we know about what it would take to rebuild that today and how near impossible it would be, that was already a feat in itself. And that's like a multiplier on top of that when you realize what's underneath of it, or apparently what's underneath of it. I don't know if they're still digging into that, or
I mean, yeah, I think they're.
like seems like they don't want us to know anything about that stuff.
No, I think they've been doing more scans. From what I'm to understand, is it's not just they did like on-site scans, but they also did satellite imagery. So I think they were using the two of them to corroborate, basically, to show evidence to. Yeah, no, I think this is becoming a little bit more legitimized with evidence.
Well, what's the name of that guy that was dragging his heels for everything? The Zahi or whatever?
Um, oh God, yeah, Zahi
Hawass?
Oahu, something like that.
Zahi Hawass? Something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I think that's right.
Um, Wait, is he still in the picture?
I think so. I think him and Graham Hancock actually became friends or some shit too, supposedly.
He seems like a likable guy.
I mean, but yeah, that's why I guess I made the point earlier. It's like, all right, come on, I think we can drop the story now. Obviously, not designed and built by your stories are not true.
Nobody feels comfortable just saying, I don't know. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. We need to do more research. Oh no, we can't do that.
Yeah, I again keep going back to then. It's like, what would we need all that power for? I've speculated a few ideas, but the bigger thing is just knowing that is what that thing was, and it's been here for longer than we can even speculate. It's like, come on, people.
And was it maybe, I don't know if you were alluding to that or not, but like, was it designed just to be like a force field of love that would just send out the right frequencies to just make everybody, love each other, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, healing energy or something. That's why I said earlier, like the idea of bringing balance.
Like basically the opposite of what people always claim the government's been doing for years.
Right. But yeah, I mean, and that lends its hand to the idea of, as I said earlier about the whole ley lines and intertwining with all the other pyramids. It really does support that it could be an energy producer, and that energy can literally be wireless transmitted to the next one, and it builds this grid all around the entire earth.
It's not just pyramids, but a lot of really old churches. And the secret is those old churches weren't churches before that. The churches came and destroyed that and built a church on top of it. So that those areas go back, I mean, maybe Druidic times.
The ability to produce mass quantity of power or energy, but also have the ability to build this out of literally things of the earth. It just there has to be some form of intelligence that was here before us.
Oh, before our civilized society.
Yeah.
Well, I think the evidence is all around us. Maybe we just been, and that's another theory going around. Oh, Lord knows how long that's been going around for, but that our history has been completely, the year has actually been off.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
That we're missing, like, what was it? Is it 400 years, or it was some ridiculously large period of time? I'm like, how? What? But then when you look at like super old structures, they're not nearly as old as you think they are, or something like that. It's all multiverse stuff now. Like a lot of people saying that we're in a new timeline now because of certain events that happened.
Yeah, there was a kid that used the whole CERN thing that created an alternate
Did
timeline.
they actually put out an article apologizing?
I don't know.
There's something about that we actually destroyed 5 other dimensions that we know of or damaged. That didn't really happen, did it?
And that's what I say is with the understanding of timelines and everything and alternate universes, all things and everywhere, all of it is this at once. Like, yeah, that shit's real. Doesn't mean that we're on that timeline or not. I don't know. But that timeline exists. I can tell you that. I mean,
I don't know. Whatever timeline I'm on, who knows? How do you know if you're switching timelines?
dude, I equated, because I was actually thinking about this the other day. I equate it to kind of like deja vu in the Matrix, where like the black cat walks by and then you look back and then like the same exact black cat walks by. It's almost like a time shift.
Because something was changed.
Well, yeah, because
That was the excuse.
you like slip through, and it's just this weird kind of like, well, that was weird. What was that? It's almost like an earthquake without there actually being an earthquake.
What was the rule? The general rule was that you couldn't break the rules, but you could bend the heck out of them. But when they made changes, that's how you would notice, because there was a glitch in the Matrix real quick. I thought that was a cool. So that's how they knew. Remember, the whole house was like bricked up and nobody could get out.
Yeah.
Because there was a man on the inside the whole time. There's always a man on the inside.
But yeah, like,
it's deep, bro. That movie's deep.
Oh, it is. It really is. But and again, dude, because this thing exists, if it is an energy provider such as it is, and then again with all the rest of these other pyramids and such, basically forming a wireless grid. No matter what that thing's for, like, holy crap, that's a massive accomplishment. There has to be some form of insane intelligence that created that. It has to be evolved well before us.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm under the assumption that if all this stuff was working the way it was supposed to, and the grid was up, you know what I mean? Like the entire grid, what that would look like. But since we don't know, like it's all speculation. Would it actually improve life? Didn't seem to work out since it wasn't passed historically. That knowledge wasn't passed to us, how that all happened. But there it's been the whole time, out in plain sight, this pyramid complex that somehow can generate power. We don't know how to tap into it because it's never been rebuilt the way it was.
Well, that's why I think when the
Oh, and it needed an arc.
going back to the Younger Dryas stuff, if the bottom of the ocean is basically the sand that was, because remember, there's the stories of they had to excavate just the pyramid itself. Like they had to pull all the sand away from that site. So if that's the bottom of the ocean, that means that there's water on top of that. The pyramid was now at this point submerged. If the land was flooded to that degree and the pyramid that's supposed to have water in it, not submerged in it, is now submerged in it, it could easily short circuit itself. It would have broken. So I'm like, all right, well, if there's this superior race and if there's at least one, there's most likely two, three, or something or other. Well, they could be at war, like all these stories that we hear about the star people and all that kind of stuff. Like all of the myths that seem to have congruency across all sorts of different belief systems, timelines, as far as, past thousands of years, 2000s, BCs, all that kind of stuff. Like, so if all of this information seems to be coincidental in a sense, what if there really was warring factions of intelligent beings and the one decides to just freaking bomb the earth knowing, like, just throws an asteroid coming this way? It's just like, yeah, deal with this, intentionally knowing that it would cause the flood that would shut that machine down. You know what I mean? Like, it allows you to fancify all these like freaking stories, just come up with crazy things.
Like
But
what actually happened.
yeah, and that's what, no matter what you can come up with to rationalize it, it still points to the simple fact is like there had to have been a superior intelligent race before us. Whether they still exist or not, I don't know, whatever, but there had to have been. This wasn't intelligent humans thousands or tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years ago. This was something completely different.
The math doesn't math.
Dude, no shit, it don't math.
It doesn't math anymore. We thought it did, but it ain't like that anymore. And it's going to take us a while to come to terms with that, I think.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
man.
You asked me is like, hey, what's been on your brain? It's like, dude, I always think about that shit. This is what I think about to this degree.
And again, lately.
Do you like lately? No, I never stop.
It always seems to be one of those things that's on my radar too. It's almost predictable,
Well, I mean, as I watch different,
Nikola Tesla.
but that's
it's repeating.
Yeah, I'll watch like the History Channel and other documentary style stuff that talks about these things, the new school thoughts, everything, going back to the whole like Anunnaki and all of these different space extraterrestrial, life forms, all these different stories, any and all of that. Simple fact is like, dude, there had to have been something. And to me, that's humbling. Just knowing that there's something bigger, better, stronger, more powerful than me. And I don't know. That's why I was like, can we at least just get rid of the narrative now? It's like, come on, man. Let's be a little bit more real about this.
I'd like to see somebody like try to recreate what it was that they attempted to, or what maybe worked at one point. This was doing many things, because one of those things was a piezoelectric generator, I believe, right?
Yeah, some of the quartz. I
From
think
rushing water kind of running through it and channeling in certain places.
Yeah, I think that was the first reaction. It basically ionized the water, but creating, piezoelectric energy.
Because
then,
anytime you get pressure in a, was it quartz crystal or?
There's a couple of different quartz because there was like two different on each side of it. So that one reacted with the water, which then that reaction reacted with the other. And, it made the ability to have the piezoelectric, which I think as it traveled up and goes into the next set, the next chamber or whatever,
I think
it
rose
converts
granite was another
into
thing that
it
was
converts
used.
into like hydrogen gas or something like that. So it's basically a giant hydrogen generator, and that's why they're like it's a power plant. It
That was
uses
the
the
claim that
hydrogen to
one of the channels that goes out from that chamber out to the surface.
yeah.
That the claim was it was built exactly the right dimensions for a hydrogen atom to bounce its way out. Something about that
Yeah.
because of the wavelength of the science stuff. I don't know.
I mean, that's why I'm saying I hella agree that it's an energy producer of some sort. Like to me, there's no doubt about it. I mean, the 2 kilometer columns only to me further proves because going to
That's
the
what I would
Tesla,
think.
well, going to the Tesla model, was it Wardcliffe Towers or whatever?
Wardenclyffe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Wardenclyffe Tower. The the tower was not just the tower. There was extensions that went under. Like there was conduit that went deep into the ground, like another 180 feet or so. It's ridiculous.
I think it had to be at least as deep as it was tall.
Well, I don't know what the dimensions all other
It
than
might have even been
again.
more than its height. I
Well,
can't remember.
but again, it's going well into the ground.
Yeah.
So it supports that if this was what he was speculating to be an energy producer, then if that was modeled after the pyramids, it only makes sense that there would be these also, columns going into the ground, this conduit. So whether it's to source water from the aquifers or if it's to like literally ground the machine, I don't, whatever they're
The
there
place he
for.
chose to build that too, everything about it, like he researched the hell out of that to find, because that's a lesser known powerful ley line system that he found. So it was more the property they built it on was half the job that he was looking for.
I think I remember hearing that story.
He had to find that property specifically to build that. I just think he just got a bit, he showed his hand too soon, I think.
Yeah, he did.
I think he should have just not said a word and just been like, yeah, we're good to go. No problem.
This is going to be
I want to make you a multi billionaire. Don't worry about it.
I got you, buddy.
And then at the last minute you go, but it's free.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sell little gadgets to try and collect it easier, but anybody could build one. It's easy. Here's how you do it. That's how you have to get things done today, I think. If you really want to if you come up with an idea like that, you can't even patent it. And that's what I'm hearing everywhere is that basically the patent mafia would come after you. They would close the whole thing down if you kept trying to push it through or even just make more copies of it that functioned.
Again, regardless of any and all that, like, it just keeps bringing me back to just contemplating. I know there's something bigger and stronger and better than I am that could be seen as a god, right? Because this thing has superior
You're
power.
mistaken as a god.
Yeah.
So we're still talking Anunnaki or
Any and all of that.
Atlanteans, or is this all melding together? Is that?
I mean, in a sense, that's why I said it.
Because are they good? Are they bad? They're kind of both. They're just like humans. They're
No clue. Literally no clue.
and we were designed in part by them. And,
Well, that's the Anunnaki story, yeah.
right. But they screwed up and they made us too well. This is the story I'm hearing, is that like we could become even more powerful than they are if we knew how to tap into it.
Yeah, I think that's a part of the Anunnaki myth. But then there's also, I mean, what's fucking Thoth, right? You talked about how he created it in an alternate dimension and then just like, bloop, here you go.
The pyramids, all of them. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
You tell me, man. You're the one that, I didn't read that. You did.
I think that is what I was, reading. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah,
I read that in a book somewhere.
I heard that in a book one time.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Totally. That's a thing now, though. It's okay. You can hear it in a book.
Reading Rainbow. I don't think that's how that goes either.
Oh, reading Rainbow.
Yeah, no, I guess as I continue to try to learn more of each of these possibilities, I guess I'm just like waiting for that one piece of information that just like all clicks and it's like, well, that seems obvious now. It's something I don't know. That'd be something I'd really like to know the answers to. Who built the pyramids and why?
When something finally clicks and you're like, oh, you mean like anybody who's paying attention would know?
But just
Or
me,
just
no,
click
just
for
me
you
personally.
personally?
Yeah. To bring me peace in it, you know what I mean? Like that's why I keep questioning it because I can't find the answer.
What it all means, why it was built, what it does.
Yeah, I was like, who built
like
these?
all those questions.
Yeah. And what was it built for? Like, come on. Help a brother out. Can you just tell me?
Always made it so fascinating. People have made movies about it. We've been writing stories about it for God forever. I mean, heck, the stories were left to us on the walls too, sort of. Not actually in the pyramids, but because they're tombs. Sure, there.
Dude, that's why I was saying earlier is like, dude, can we at least just drop that narrative now, please? Come on, can we get past the bullshit and like start trying to figure this shit out?
Are there actually? Did you actually find dead bodies in said tombs?
But fuck all that shit, bro. I'm just saying, come on, let's dig this motherfucker out and see what it's about. Come on, let's get at it.
Oh, they would be in this giant sarcophagus behind me. It's way too big.
Well, dude, because think about this, all right? Because like I said, the pyramid is just the tip with the columns on it, like a giant monolith, like the DC monument, right? Think about that. What if this was not only a power plant, but also a symbol of a town that's built underneath of it? If we get 2 kilometers or even maybe 3 kilometers under, there could be a whole nother, existence of a civilization that's just been mad buried for who knows how long.
This was the further beneath and or beyond the area of those columns.
Yeah.
The conjecture that there was a whole nother living quarters down there, maybe
like a whole city, dude,
for kilometers in each distance, in each direction or whatever.
It could easily be a city.
We're still not looking into that yet, though.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we need
that area is protected.
Let's dig that shit out.
Scan it. That's all I'm asking for.
No, fuck that. Dig it out. Let's see what it is. Let's start taking that shit apart or something, or figure. Come on, man. This thing that could generate energy in this sense, that's some fucking serious technology. Let's figure that shit out. Apply it to our existence. Come on. Like, why isn't there a global effort to do that shit? That's what I'm saying.
It's probably more a global effort to try and keep it hidden.
We're getting bullshit. That's why I'm like, yo, come on. Let's make it happen, Captain.
What are we supposed to do?
I don't know.
Is this a call to arms? Like, right. Whoever happens to be listening.
Like Hands Across America.
Like, we need to figure this out.
Let's dig out the pyramid. Call this 1-800 number. There is no 800 number.
Quick, create a 0-point energy device. Hurry up. Come on, I need it yesterday.
But dude, for real, like, I don't understand how people aren't more, just again, if there is this potential, if there's that much more evidence pointing to that this is actually an energy producer and could be done and harnessed like Tesla was talking about, then why not? Like, come on now.
That's
I don't get it.
could we do like Mythbusters style like rebuild of the whole pyramid complex and this idea of how we would have used that particular setup to produce energy, and could we recreate that somehow through running water through the channel underneath the makeshift pyramid that we create?
But dude, that's what I'm saying. We need to. That's why we need to dig this whole thing out. We need to see
Do
the rest
that,
of the
like,
machine.
how hard would that be to do? Just to recreate like a model.
But that's what I'm saying. We need
Just a
we need to
model.
see the rest of the machine to do that, because then we can actually build it. We could reproduce one, man.
But reproduce in miniature what we already know about the pyramid.
No, I'm saying like reproduce the pyramid. Like turn that sucker back on. See what happens.
Oh, you just need to like do some redecorating. Put some new fixtures. It's just got old burned out fixtures. You need to replace the fixtures. Was it the anode and the diode? Is that what it is?
Anode and cathode.
Cathode? That's it. This science stuff.
Science.
I love science.
But yeah, we should repair this thing. It's like, come on, let's rebuild it.
Yeah, go for
Let's,
it, man.
let's bolt this thing back together.
I'm right behind you. I don't know. Give me some tools, man. I just.
Well, because this goes back to your statement earlier where you were talking about if I had all that kind of energy, I want light first. It has me posing the question. It's like if we literally had endless, abundant energy that everybody had access to, what kind of existence would our society be living in? What would our people be like? What would our needs and wants be at that point?
That is the daydream, though. The idea of having a cheap renewable source of energy, right?
Well, this wouldn't be a cheap renewable. This would be a free and endless that was non-harmful in any way.
Is it possible that all these years this has just been suppressed? But most sane thinking people or rational, sciencey people say that the idea of creating a machine that could produce energy without anything be an input and have an output at all is physically impossible. Won't even consider it, even if it is true. And you definitely wouldn't be able to patent it. You'd have to give it away for free.
Dude, I just had this thought though. What if the Anunnaki story where the brothers were fighting, was it Enki and Enlil, right?
And Leo. Yeah.
And they were talking about the one was gonna flood the world. What if to shut down the power plant, like that was a part of killing the world in a sense? You know, it's like,
the grid, bringing down the grid.
Well, yeah.
Well, and that was what I was saying.
And wiping humanity.
That was what I was saying earlier. We make the assumption that the grid would have been a positive effect on humanity.
Yeah.
But what if it was the opposite? What if the good guys actually, what you would consider the good guys, whoever knows what good guys are.
Right. Well, I mean, you can go, but
took down the grid because maybe it opened us up to some other evil dimension.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like almost like Star Wars where, the rebel forces take down the freaking, they're taking down the what the hell, the force field, the power plant on the fucking moon of Endor or whatever, right? The fucking Ewoks and shit. What if that was like the good guys taking down the bad guys? It's like, well, now you don't have your power source. You guys can't, you got no reason to come here because now you can't power your ship back up so that you can make it home.
Yeah, you're F, bro. I just blew up your gas station.
Basically, right? What if it was, in a sense, like that kind of a thing? So it wasn't, the floods weren't there to try to take out humanity. It was there because it's like, that's what, you get the stories of like the Ark and all that kind of stuff. Take the animals and the people and rebuild again. What if that shit was like all planned? It's just like, oh, I can't have it. It's like, well, then you can't have it either. Kadoosh. I don't know, man. That's why I say, like, I speculate on all those kinds of things, and I'm just waiting for that one little piece of information, and it's just like, oh, I bet that's what happened, but
Wouldn't it be great to be in a world where people didn't make assumptions about each other and they treated each other like they would like to be treated, right?
see, and that
That'd be
goes back
nice.
to the question I was saying, man, if that really was a power grid and we did have this free, abundant energy source, the fact that we've
And what do you
seen
think about? You just think about the different possibilities of
there's too much information that points to there had to have been something well advanced about, like, above us. If we had this endless, abundant, non-harmful energy producer that was free to everything, we would have technologies and understandings of those kinds of things. That's what I'm saying. So
is
no,
it just that, or is there?
no, dude, because you can believe your own existence and
You
you
don't
can
think
put
there's like
yourself
a
into that.
spiritual warfare over this kind of shit?
I'm not saying there isn't, but that's the thing is you as a sixth, fifth, seventh, whatever dimensional being, none of this shit matters, man. This is our own cage that we're built into with perception and, the construct of being human to exist within the world of difference or dichotomy. Like, what kind of society would we really have? Like, what would this world be existence wise? But I don't know. Maybe you at home hit us in the comments and give us what you think that existence would look like. Do you want to cup something?
Dogged out. If you want to hit us in the comments, I'd do it with the.
But yeah, seriously, fam,
Anyway,
hit us in the comments, continue the conversation. We're obviously going to get back into the pyramids and, as we said, deeper discussion next
Apparently
time.
you're always thinking about that, which is, it's good.
I think it's something worthy to think about. But yeah, we also appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in as usual. And yeah, check the credits for your name. If it's not in there, hit us in the comments. Tell us. We'll add
put
it.
it right in.
We'll absolutely add it in there.
We will do that.
But as well as we always love the end of the show with, be good to yourself. Be good to everything else.
Much love.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.
Test check one.
Check. Microphone check.
Yeah.
Chiggy check. No table. Don't know what to do.
It's all right. I'm telling you, the chairs and end tables, it's gonna be a nice look.
The
It's gonna be way more comfortable.
like the swivelly,
Yeah.
like chill. Yeah. I always wonder if I'm just gonna have like a UFO like come down on my car as I'm driving somewhere by myself and like stop time. We'll hang out for a while.
Want a beer, bro?
Right?
Care for a spot of tea? I don't, whatever you're into.
Like, are we gonna stumble upon like some super ancient version of a jukebox or something like that? Like just buried somewhere.
Maybe.
That's always like my dad's question to me. Like when I start going off on these things, she's like, who says? Who would know? How did they know that back then? I'm like, I don't know.
Just like in the movie The Explorers, you freaking asked me to borrow that. Like, they had dreams of these structures that were basically circuit boards that built this supposed bubble, this force field, this energy field that basically bent the law of physics inside of it. Because the last time I tried to bring some shit up, you like shut me down. You were mean to me. It's okay.
What? I went in with my dad about this whole conversation with the idea of cymatics, and I was like, "Have you ever heard of that?" And apparently, somebody did this huge study to try and find something familiar about the shapes within the stained glass windows that are on the main tower of like very, very Gothic churches. They found that was actually the cymatic marker for a specific note in a certain frequency.
Yeah.
Which also matched the church bells. Like, what? There's so much we just don't understand. like a pimp pirate, like a pirate pimp, like some kind of one-legged, one-eyed.
Like a one-eyed Willie.
Arr.
Get my balls out of my throat.
What the?
Answer a little tight.
Whose fault is that? I'm telling you, man. Bop.